The words of Imam Nasr Muhammad al-Yemeni, written on the 5th of May 2020 AD at 12:51 p.m. according to the official time of Mecca, mother of towns. Coronavirus is from the minor chastisement besides the major chastisement, so they may turn back. In the name of Allah the All Merciful, the Most Merciful. Allah's prayer of forgiveness upon His prophets and His loyal servants in every time and place. No fear for them from His chastisement, nor shall they grieve. Indeed, so often we advise the decision makers, especially the leaders of the Muslims and the disbelievers in general. Also, those who turn away, but they do not like the advisors. Anyway, the deniers have disbelieved in Allah's narration, whether they be the atheists or the polytheists or the Muslims, except upon whom my Lord has mercy from among them, and he earned good in his faith. Surely I left you to Allah, the One, the Supreme, who made me Khalifa of His over the worlds, to make me prevail against you by His way and His power, confirming with the word of Allah the Most High. So leave me alone with him who rejects this announcement. We shall lead them on to destruction from where they do not know. And I fill them with false hopes. Surely my plan is firm. Truthful Allah the Great. Al-Qalam. Verily, here he is challenging you with the smallest of his soldiers that cannot be seen by the naked eye. Then he shook the world, the great and the small, a major shake, while it is a mere immortal virus that you do not encompass knowledge about it, wherefrom Allah invaded you by it, and with which Allah is challenging the entire human medical scientists. Surely by no means, and they can never find an antidote vaccine for it, as they claim. No matter what they announce, do not let them seduce you. By Allah, they are indeed liars, although it is a tiny living creature, Allah's hidden soldiers. Even if the entire human population of physicians met for it, even if they were aiders and supporters of each other, they cannot and would never be able to, by Allah's permission, in order for you to know that you do not encompass a thing of His knowledge except in what He pleases. Glory be to Him. But you are atheist people, and you will indeed see what you did not expect from the scheme of Allah's unknown soldier, coronavirus, the suffocator. And Allah leads them on to destruction by means of His intelligent, hidden way to get to whom Allah pleases of their elite from where they do not know. And we see that the International Health Organization does not consider it an international disease yet, for the fact with their claim they will control it, yet they are indeed liars. How can they control Allah's chastisement? But the Imam Mahdi Nasr Muhammad al-Yemeni, a Khalifa of Allah over the worlds, I issue fatwa to you with truth that it is not a mere international disease, in fact an international chastisement. And since it is a sort of minor chastisement before the major chastisement, then definitely the number of death is few initially, but now the infected ones are in the millions, and many of them, they do not know that they are infected, and this is cunning from Allah so that they infect other people as they think themselves are secure from Allah's chastisement, the suffocating to the respiratory system. So it would constrict on him, breathing air little by little, as if he elevates up in the sky until he suffocates because of the constriction of his respiratory system. and its channel. So how will Allah not afflict the arrogant ones of whom Allah pleases from among them as admonishment to the worlds, for they may turn back to their true Lord by pleading and supplicating to remove His chastisement away from them, promising Allah to follow His book, the Grand Quran, and asking Allah steadfastness, who comes between them and their hearts, so they would beseech from Allah to make their hearts steadfast until what they are promised Him to avoid His chastisement, then He removes it away from them to follow His book, the Grand Quran, so they be of those who are guided aright. And I want to seal this explanatory statement of mine with the call from Allah in His decisive book during an admonition too of His chastisement for the chest disease, confirming with the word of Allah the Most High, O people, there has come to you indeed an admonition from your Lord and a healing for what is in the chests, and a guidance and a mercy for the believers. Truthful Allah the Great, Yunus. Surely this is a chastisement, admonition, a wisdom for the dutiful ones. I know that this is a chastisement, pain and great horror to people, for they may repent, then worship Allah, Him alone, no partner for Him. And they repent from the major sins, oppression and indecencies, what appears of it, and what is hidden secretly and openly. And they would make a complete ablution to worship Allah, the One, the Supreme. Then they do not call on anyone with Allah, and know the sure knowledge that it is a hidden international chastisement, as a cunning from Allah, the One, the Supreme, and it is not a mere disease as you claim. Far from, very far. Indeed, you shall know. So flee from Allah to Him. Verily, I am a clear warner to you from Him. And do not shut down His houses of worship to prevent those who flee to their Lord to perform the prayer to their Lord, Him alone with no partner for Him. And he who enters Allah's houses to worship his Lord, he is secure from the virus of suffocation, even if he entered with the infected ones who flee to Allah. Surely it would not afflict the righteous worshippers who believe, trust, and rely on their Lord. So trust, relying on Allah, if you indeed are believers. Know that coronavirus is a new chastisement of mighty power, the chest's disease, little by little until it cuts off the breath of whom Allah pleases. And he who got healed from it, let him know that it is not because of the treatment of the physicians, rather because of his supplication prayer to Allah the Most Merciful than all who have mercy. It should not be for them to find a cure treatment for Allah's chastisement, to the fact it is not an affliction for purging what is in your chests. In fact, it is a chastisement afflicts the chests of whom Allah pleases, of those who from among you turn away, for they may return back. And some of you who death may make him decease with chastisement of suffocation. That is what they call it, coronavirus, and it is not but from the minor chastisement to many people, for they may return back to plead to their Lord, so He will remove from them away the chastisement, evil, and they follow the Grand Quran, the true book from their Lord. By no means, and it would never be removed from those who perform prostration on what they call Turab al-Hussein. Indeed, Allah did not send down an authority with that, neither in the Quran nor in the Sunnah of the explanatory statement from their Lord. In fact, they innovated it out of themselves. Also, by no means, and it would never be removed from those who call on those who are in the graves to remove the evil. Surely, they do not hear their call, and even if they heard, they would not respond to them, and on Judgment Day they will deny the association of them with Allah, and they would disown them and be against them. So how often have we warned you and advised you not to call on anyone with Allah, but unfortunately most of them do not believe in Allah, but they associate with Him. As well, we warn the oppressors in general, the elites, and whoever comes after them in countries of the Muslims and the worlds from the minor chastisement of Allah and other signs of chastisement until the major chastisement overwhelms those of them who were tyrants in the land and oppressed the people unjustly. So they increased mischief indeed. Your Lord over them was and is a watchful tower. Thus we warn them from the chastisement of asteroid Al-Rajifa. It shakes what's beyond the Atlantic Ocean to the west of it in the United States of America, and it would stir up the dust of their land's soil. Then the soil of their land would fill the world's space, and a striking wave spreads over the regions of this world. In whole, you shall indeed know that we are truthful, with the permission of Allah, Lord of the worlds. And planet Sakar comes after that, if the asteroid of chastisement did not cause remembrance to you. Verily, keep your duty to Allah, O possessors of understanding minds. And came the promised major mischief in the land, the blessed Al-Aqsa Mosque, the first of two Qiblas. Indeed, that the sanctity of Al-Aqsa Mosque with Allah is as the sanctity of the sacred Mosque Al-Haram. O you who sold the exalted house of Allah, surely you would never find from Allah a loyal friend nor protector from His chastisement, and you will indeed lose the world's life and the hereafter, that is the manifest lost. Verily, I am a trustworthy advisor to you, and death came to you, while you, unaware, turn away. O our Allah, I have delivered the message. O our Allah, bear witness, and peace be upon the messengers, and praise be to Allah, Lord of the worlds. Allah's Khalifa, His servant, Imam Mahdi Nasr Muhammad al-Yemeni.